Oh, hey, didn't see you there. It's been a little while. This is Rob, and it is chilly. I'm in my new and improved music room, recording room. Kind of showing off my hat today. It is cold. New Jersey, 22 degrees, and tonight 4 degrees. 4 degrees. But luckily, knock on wood, no more snow for now. My snow blower is being fixed. I get it back tomorrow. But I'm here to talk about the Grammys. I don't really watch every year. Bits and pieces, because it's a Sunday night, and my wife and I watch 90 Day religiously. I don't know why. Have a little bourbon and 90 Day. So we'll probably flip in and out. But I wanted to go over the categories. Not all of them, though. First of all, I want to tell you the difference between album, record, and song. I mean, we know what song is mostly, but album of the year is the entire project's quality. The entire project, album, right? Record, what's record? We call an album a record, don't we? No, but it's a single track's performance and production. So it's the performance and production. Song focuses on the songwriting. So there you go. And now who's up for category? Now, I do listen to a lot of new music, but I don't listen to everything. You can't. So some of these I may not know. Album of the year, we got Bad Bunny. We know Bad Bunny. He's going to be at the Super Bowl. I don't know if you've heard. Debí tirar más fotos. If I said that right, probably not. That's the album title. Justin Bieber, Swag. Sabrina Carpenter, Man's Best Friend. I know that album. I like Sabrina. I don't think it's better than her last one. Let God Sort 'Em Out. Clips, Pusha T, and Malice. I've not listened to that one. Mayhem, Lady Gaga. Didn't really like that. GNX, Kendrick Lamar. Mutt, Leon Thomas. And Chromacopia, Tyler, the Creator. I've heard of him. Record of the year. Pretty much have the same albums, but these are, like I said, these record is more song production. DTMF, Bad Bunny. Man-Child, Sabrina Carpenter. Anxiety, Doce. I know who Doce is. I listened to her album last year on our random album roulette. Wildflower, Billie Eilish. And the proper pronunciation is eyelash. Most people don't know that. Abracadabra, Lady Gaga. Luther, Kendrick Lamar with SZA. The Subway, Chapel Roan. That's her new single. I don't think she has a new album. I don't think that was on her album. And APT, Apartment. Rosé, because there's a little thing over her over the E in Rose. Maybe it is Rose, I don't know. Bruno Mars. They did a song together, and I have her album, and I love this song. I love this song. It's a great, fun song. If you haven't heard it, look up APT, Bruno Mars, and Rosé. Song of the year, Abracadabra. Not a big fan of that song. Didn't really like the album, like I said. Anxiety, Doce. APT. I hope that wins. DTMF, Bad Bunny. Golden from K-pop. Demon Hunters. I've heard of them. I think it's an animated or, computer generated thing. Luther from Kendrick Lamar. It says it. And believe it or not, I've listened to Kendrick Lamar too as one of the random albums. He is rap. Mostly rap. I don't think it's hip hop. But he's kind of experimental, and it actually wasn't that bad. Man-Child, Sabrina Carpenter, and Wildflower, Billie Eilish. Best New Artist. I always like to see this category. Olivia Dean, check her out. She was on SNL. I think she's been on Jimmy Fallon or one of those. Cat's Eye, don't know that. The Marias, love the Marias. And the lead singer, she had another project called Not for Radio, and Matt just reviewed that album. That was, I think, one of his random albums on one of the last podcasts. Addison Rae, Somber, Leon Thomas, Alex Warren, and Lola Young. I know, I've heard of her. Now we get into rock. Like I said, I skipped some stuff here, but best rock performance. You should not be doing that. Emil and the Sniffers, check them out. The Emptiness Machine, Linkin Park. Now, I am one of those who did not like Linkin Park. Never really listened to them. I heard their songs until the new album came out, and I like the new lead singer. She's from a band called Dead Sarah. Never Enough, Turnstile. I don't know this band. Hayley Williams from Paramore with mirtazapine. And yes, it's about the drug, the antidepressant. Changes, live from Villa Park. Back to the Beginning. Youngblood featuring Nuno Betancourt, Frank Bello, Adam Wakeman, and thru, the Roman numeral of Sleep Token. Youngblood. I didn't look it up if he was best new artist like last year or the year before. I assume he was, but is he hype? I don't know. I don't know yet. I think they're over promoting him. That's the thing, and that's sometimes not a good thing. I mean, it's sometimes a good thing, like money wise. People are buying his albums and songs, streaming and all that, which you don't make a lot of money from anyway, but you know what I'm saying. And then you get over hyped and the promotion stuff, and then people get sick of you. So I think we need to calm down with the young blood a little bit. Best rock album, Private Music, Deftones. The Deftones are up for a Grammy. I Quit, Haim, Haim. And I've listened to their album. I have their album, their CD. From Zero, Linkin Park. I love it. Never Enough, Turnstile. I'm going to have to check them. I don't know who Turnstile is. Idols, Youngblood. Who do we think's going to win? I think it's going to be Youngblood. Best rock song, As Alive as You Need Me to Be. Trent Reznor, he's back with Atticus Ross songwriters, Nine Inch Nails. I think it's from the new Tron movie. Carmo, Vessel, and thru, songwriters, Sleep Token. Glum, Daniel James and Hayley Williams, songwriters. That's from her solo album, which I think is her third solo album. Never Enough, Daniel Fang, Franz Lyons, Pat McCrory, Meg Mills, and Brandon Yates, Turnstile. Zombie, Dominic Harrison and Matt Schwartz, songwriters, Youngblood. And it's not the Cranberries song. Best alternative music performance, Everything is Peaceful, Love, Bon Iver, I've heard of him. Alone, The Cure, I love the new Cure stuff. Seeing Stars, Turnstile again. Let's see here. Man Get Out, Wet Leg. I love Wet Leg. You know, if you don't know Wet Leg, I don't know why I'm saying it like that. Check them out. Wet Leg. Parachute, Hayley Williams. Not one of my favorites off her solo album, her new one. Of course, there's like, I don't know how many songs, 20 songs, maybe more. Best alternative music album. Now, for some reason, there's not best alternative song. I don't know why. Well, no, wait a minute. We just had performance, I think. Was that music performance, but not... is that a song? Is that live? I don't know. Best alternative music album, Sable Fable, Bon Iver. The Cure, Songs of a Lost World. I would love that to win. Don't Tap the Glass, Tyler, the Creator. Moisturizer, Wet Leg. Ego Death at a Bachelorette Party, Hayley Williams. And that's an album I reviewed, and if you listen to the podcast, it's one of those albums that has too many songs on it. Just whittle it down, make it 10 songs, 11 songs, like Cheap Trick did with their last album. And I was able to tell Dax, the drummer, how, tight that album is. But, when you got 20 songs, 25 songs, I don't know. Now we're going into jazz, best jazz, and I picked instrumental. There are vocal nominees, but this is instrumental because I prefer instrumental. Trilogy 3, Live Chick Corea, Christian McBride and Brian Blade. Southern Nights, Sullivan Fortner featuring Peter Washington and Marcus Gilmore. Belonging, Branford Marsalis Quartet. And Spiritfall, John Patitucci featuring Chris Potter and Brian Blade. And Fasten Up, the Yellow Jackets. Check them out. Best Traditional Pop Vocal Album winner songs, Lala Bali, The Gift of Love, Jennifer Hudson, Who Believes in Angels, Elton John and Brandi Carlile. Wasn't a fan of the album. Harlequin, Lady Gaga. A Matter of Time, La Fée. Check out La Fée. It's a jazz. It's original jazz that sound like they're from 40 years ago, 50 years ago or more. A Matter of Time, her album, and it's Laufey, La Fée. LaVey, I think it's The Secret of Life Partners 2, Barbra Streisand. We got to throw Barbara in there. Best Traditional Country Album, Dollar a Day, Charlie Crockett. I've heard of him. American Romance, Lucas Nelson, Willie's son. He's up against his dad with Willie's, I think it's his 74th album, Oh What a Beautiful World. Hard-Headed Woman, Margot Price. Love this album. And I do like some country. I love Margot Price. Ain't In It for My Health, Zach Top. Never heard of him. Blues, Best Contemporary Blues, Breakthrough, John Bonamassa. Paper Doll, Samantha Fish. Great album. We're hoping to interview her soon. A Tribute to LJK, Eric Gales. Preacher Kids, Robert Randolph. Family, Southern Avenue. Best Comedy, I like to see comedy on here. Drop Dead Years, Bill Burr. Postmortem, Sarah Silverman. Single Lady, Ali Wong. What Had Happened Was, ... Jamie Foxx. Your Friend, Nate Bargatze, by Nate Bargatze. Now, I was going to list the bluegrass albums because my number one album from last year was Alison Brown and Steve Martin. And it's banjo music. Alison wrote the music and Steve wrote the lyrics. And there's a couple instrumentals they both wrote. But what I didn't know, maybe you don't know, the eligibility period for the Grammys tonight is August 31st, 2024 to August 30th, 2025 of last year. So if you had an album come out after August 30th, it's not eligible till next year. And the Alison Brown, Steve Martin came out in October. So, and we have a couple, I wanted to add these because maybe you don't know about it. There's Memoriam, I always get that word wrong, and you always have performers, Wale Shaw, who unfortunately passed away this past year. And this year we got interesting, Reba McEntire with Brandi Clark and Lucas Nelson. They're doing the in Memoriam. There is an Ozzy tribute. Did you know about this? There's an Ozzy tribute. Post Malone, Duff McKagan from Guns N' Roses, Slash, Guns N' Roses, Chad Smith from the Chili Peppers, and Andrew Watt. So I might want to check that out, the Ozzy tribute. So that does it for the Grammys. And I'll probably, like I said, tune in a little bit, see what's going on. I don't have the list of performers that are performing, so I don't know exactly. But, not all the music I like. Half of it I don't. There's some good albums that came out last year. Check out our podcast, Top 10 Albums of Last Year, to see There's some stuff on there that aren't nominated for Grammys. So stay warm if you're on the East Coast. Luckily, we missed a snowstorm. Hopefully, no more snow. I don't know. Wait for it to warm up. I have a friend, Steve Franchi. I'm gonna give a shout out. Who we've been trying to get together for the last couple of Sundays when it's snowed, but couldn't, to just smoke a cigar, have a beer. Of course, you got to do that outside, and it's just too cold, so we're going to wait till it warms up a little bit. You know, we're old, so thin skin, yeah. So thanks for watching, and good luck to everybody tonight winning a Grammy.